What's good, family? Every one of us got two versions living inside, who we are and who we know we can be. And the biggest fight you'll ever face ain't out there in the world. It's the one between those two. It's easy to stay comfortable, easy to replay the same story, easy to say one day I'ma change. But that one day don't ever come on its own. You gotta force it. You gotta demand it. Because growth don't happen by chance, it happens by choice. Today I want to talk about 5 truths that'll help you outgrow the old version of you. Not someday, right now. Uncomfort is the silent killer of potential. It's that soft pillow that whispers you're good right here when deep down you know you were made for more. Every dream, every goal, every vision that was supposed to take you higher can die right there in the arms of comfort. 'Cause comfort don't ask you to grow. It don't demand anything from you. It just keeps you stuck, repeating the same cycles, saying the same excuses, living in the same path. Comfort is dangerous because it feels good while it's slowly robbing you of your purpose. See, greatness lives on the other side of discomfort. You can't get to your highest level by doing what feels safe. Growth doesn't happen when you're chilling. Growth happens when you're stretched, when you're challenged, when life got you questioning if you can even keep going. That's the gym where your spirit trains, the place where your mindset, your resilience, and your hunger all get built. But most people never make it there because they run from the work. They want the reward without the resistance. They want success without the sweat. Look at anybody who made it, athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, whoever. Their story got pain written all over it. Pain is the price tag for progress. When you see someone standing tall in their purpose, don't get fooled by the shine. Understand they earned that by facing everything that was meant to break them. The struggle built them. The pressure shaped them. You can't skip that part and expect the results. Pressure creates diamonds, but you can't be mad at the weight if you asking to shine. Think about it. An athlete doesn't get stronger by staying comfortable. They push their body past the limit until it burns. They train when nobody's watching. They show up when it hurts, when it rains, when it's cold, when they're tired. That's where greatness is developed. Not in the spotlight, but in the dark, uncomfortable moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. That's the same energy life asks from you. Entrepreneurs know this too. They don't stay in business by repeating what worked yesterday. The market changes, the world evolves, and if they don't grow with it, they disappear. They have to be uncomfortable enough to reinvent, to learn new skills, to risk failure again and again. They live in a constant state of pressure because they understand the moment they get too comfortable, they start losing. And that same truth applies to you. If you stop growing, you start dying. We all get tested. Life got a way of checking if we're serious about what we say we want. You might ask for success and life will give you struggle just to see if you can handle it. You might ask for strength and life will give you pain so you can earn it. That's how the process works. You can't pray for a bigger stage if you're not willing to carry heavier weight. Growth ain't convenient. It's intentional. And when those uncomfortable seasons hit, when things start falling apart, when your plans don't work, when your back's against the wall, that's not punishment. That's preparation. You're being stretched because something inside you needs to expand. You're being tested because there's more in you than you're currently using. But if you keep running back to comfort every time things get hard, you'll never find out how strong you really are. Discomfort is where you discover your character. It's where you find out if you really mean the things you talk about. Everybody wants success, but not everyone wants the sacrifices that come with it. Everybody wants growth, but not everyone's willing to go through the growing pains. The truth is, your future self is watching you right now, wondering if you'll push through or fold when it gets tough. Because what you do when it's hard determines what you'll have when it's easy. We've been raised to avoid pain, to look for shortcuts, to chase comfort, to take the easy route. But every shortcut you take steals from your destiny. Comfort makes you settle for good enough when greatness was already in your reach. And the worst part, comfort feels right until it's too late. It tricks you into believing you're safe when really you're stagnant. You ever notice how people who once had big dreams end up living small lives? It's not because they weren't capable. It's because they stopped pushing. They found a job that paid just enough, a routine that felt secure, a lifestyle that didn't challenge them, and they got stuck there. Their potential didn't die. It just went to sleep inside a comfortable cage. Don't let that be you. The people who make real impact are the ones who get comfortable being uncomfortable. They don't let fear stop them from moving. They don't let failure make them quit. They use pressure as fuel. When things go wrong, they don't fold, they adapt. They study the lesson, make the adjustment, and come back stronger. That's the mindset that separates dreamers from doers. Sometimes discomfort means waking up earlier. Sometimes it means cutting off distractions. Sometimes it means walking away from people who no longer align with your vision. Sometimes it means betting on yourself when the odds are against you. And every time you do that, every time you choose growth over comfort, you build power inside you that nobody can take away. See, comfort will give you excuses. Pressure will give you purpose. Comfort tells you deserve a break. Purpose says keep going, you're almost there. Comfort keeps you thinking small, but purpose keeps you expanding. The real ones understand that comfort and greatness can't live in the same house. You gotta choose one. So when life starts stretching you, don't fight it. When things get hard, don't pray for it to stop. Pray for the strength to handle it. Learn to breathe through it. Learn to adapt. Learn to stay focused when it feels like everything's testing you, because those moments are the ones that redefine who you are. The truth is, struggle is just the universe introducing you to the next version of yourself. Every obstacle carries a lesson. Every setback carries strength. Every delay carries development. You just have to stop looking at discomfort as a curse and start seeing it as a calling. The old you can't come with you where you're going. The old mindset, the old habits, the old fears, they all gotta stay behind. And the only way to leave them there is to walk through the fire of discomfort until they burn off. That's how you elevate. That's how you evolve. When you start understanding that discomfort is part of the process, you stop running from it and start embracing it. You realize every time life challenges you, it's not trying to destroy you, it's trying to refine you. Every challenge, every loss, every sleepless night is molding you into someone stronger, sharper, more focused. So don't let comfort rob you of your greatness. Don't settle for average when excellence is calling your name. The climb is steep, the nights get long, and the road will test you, but it's worth it. Because at the end of all that struggle, you'll look in the mirror and see a version of yourself that you fought for, bled for, and earned through every ounce of discomfort. That's the reward, not just the success, but the strength, the wisdom, and the pride that comes from knowing you didn't take the easy routes. You chose to grow. You chose to rise. You chose to become everything the old you was too comfortable to imagine. Comfort is the silent killer of potential. It feels good. It feels safe. It feels familiar, but that's exactly what makes it dangerous. Every dream that ever died, every vision that never made it off the ground, it usually happened because somebody chose comfort over growth. The truth is, you can't reach greatness while you're still holding on to what's easy. Growth doesn't live where it's comfortable. It lives in the tension, in the struggle, in those moments when you're stretched so far that you don't even recognize yourself anymore. That's where the next level is waiting, in the space just past your limits. We've been conditioned to believe that avoiding pain means we're doing something right, that if life feels hard, we must be doing something wrong, but that's a lie. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your gym. It's where your spirit lifts weight. Every challenge you face is a workout for your character, your patience, your resilience. It's how you build the strength to handle what's coming. People say they want success, but few are willing to train for it. They want the rewards without the resistance. But just like your body, your spirit won't grow if you don't give it something to push against. Nobody grows in the easy seasons. Think about it. The best lessons you've ever learned didn't come from the times when everything was smooth. They came from the times when you were tested. The breakthroughs that changed your life didn't show up when everything was calm. They came through pressure, through loss, through long nights of doubt and frustration. It's the hard seasons that teach you who you are. You might not see it in the moment, but those moments are molding you. Every time life pushes you, it's building muscle you didn't know you had. Pressure creates diamonds, right? But that same pressure can crush you if you don't understand it. That's why mindset matters. Some people see pressure and panic. Others see pressure and prepare. It's all about perspective. The difference between those who rise and those who fall isn't talent. It's how they handle discomfort. Most people run from it. They hide in routines that make them feel safe but keep them stuck. They tell themselves they're waiting for the right time, but what they're really doing is avoiding the pain that comes with growth. Look at the greats, athletes, visionaries, creators. None of them stayed where it was easy. Athletes don't improve by staying in shape. They improve by breaking through barriers, by pushing their bodies past what they thought was possible. That's why they train in the off season, why they wake up before the sun, why they play hurt and still give their all. They understand that greatness has a cost and comfort can't afford it. The same goes for entrepreneurs. The world moves fast, and if they don't evolve, they disappear. What worked last year might not work this year. They have to be uncomfortable enough to learn, to fail, to adapt. Every pivot, every risk, every sleepless night, that's them stepping out of comfort so they can stay ahead. The same rule applies to you. If you're not growing, you're fading. If you're not stretching yourself, you're shrinking without even realizing it. The problem is comfort feels like peace. It tricks you. It makes you think everything's okay because nothing's hurting, but what it's really doing is keeping you stuck in the same loop. Comfort doesn't want you to change. It wants you to settle. It whispers, you've done enough. It tells you, take it easy. But greatness doesn't come from taking it easy. It comes from doing the thing that scares you, from taking the risk that others avoid, from facing the challenge that most people walk away from. Growth will always ask something from you. It'll ask you to sacrifice your comfort, your habits, your excuses. It'll demand discipline when you feel tired, focus when you feel distracted, courage when you feel afraid. And when life starts stretching you, don't fight it. Don't ask for it to stop. Learn to breathe through it. Because that's how you build endurance, not by avoiding the struggle, but by walking through it until it stops intimidating you. Sometimes the universe will shake everything around you just to get you uncomfortable enough to move. That relationship falling apart, that job ending, that door closing, it might not be punishment, it might be a push. Because if life didn't make you uncomfortable, you never leave what's familiar. You never chase what's possible. Discomfort is often divine direction in disguise. It's the universe saying you're too big for where you are right now. The truth is your comfort zone isn't a home, it's a cage. It looks safe, but it limits you. It keeps you from exploring what you're capable of. And the scariest part, you can decorate that cage, call it happiness, and still be trapped. You might not see the bars, but you'll feel them every time your spirit tells you there's more out there. Every time you ignore that pull, you trade your potential for a little bit of ease. Think about every person you look up to, every story that inspires you. None of them became who they are by choosing comfort. They faced rejection, failure, doubt, and still kept going. They stayed in the game when quitting would have been easier. That's what separates those who dream from those who do. Greatness is born in the grind. It's created in the hours no one sees, the effort no one applauds, the moments when you keep going even though nothing's working yet. When you start seeing discomfort as training instead of punishment, everything changes. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? You stop running from pressure and start using it as fuel. You realize every challenge is shaping you for the next chapter. Every delay is building your patience. Every setback is sharpening your strength. And here's the thing, the pain you're avoiding right now is probably the same pain that's protecting your purpose. Every time you push through it, you get closer to the version of yourself you were meant to be. The stronger, wiser, more focused version. The one that doesn't settle, the one that can handle what you used to pray for. It's not easy, and it's not supposed to be. The road to greatness will test your patience, your faith, and your limits. But once you understand that struggle is part of the process, you stop fearing it. You start embracing it. You start realizing that discomfort isn't trying to destroy you. It's trying to develop you. The world is full of people who had potential but never stepped out of their comfort zone to use it. Don't be one of them. Don't let your love for comfort kill your calling. Be willing to walk through the fire for your future. Be willing to get uncomfortable for your peace, for your growth, for your purpose. Because the truth is, comfort never made anyone legendary. So when life starts stretching you, don't shrink. When it gets hard, don't pray for it to stop. Pray for the strength to keep pushing. Learn to breathe through the pressure. Learn to embrace the discomfort, because that's where you meet the strongest version of yourself, the one that's been waiting beyond your comfort zone all along. The past has a strange way of holding people hostage. It dresses itself up as comfort, as pride, as memory, but really, sometimes it's just a weight disguised as warmth. We look back and replay moments that once made us feel alive, the times we felt on top, the times when everything seemed simpler, when we thought we had it all figured out. But if you spend too long staring in that rearview mirror, you'll crash trying to move forward. The truth is, the past got you here, and that deserves respect. But what got you here won't get you there. You can't keep chasing what used to be when life's calling you to build something new. Too many people get stuck glorifying old seasons, saying, man, back then I was really doing it, or those were the good old days. But that kind of thinking keeps you stagnant, because while you're busy replaying memories, life is trying to hand you new opportunities. The future is right in front of you, but you can't see it clearly because you keep looking backward. The danger in romanticizing the past is that it tricks you into believing your best days are behind you, but they're not. They're waiting on you to stop living off reruns and start producing new episodes of your life. The past version of you, the one that hustled, learned, failed, got back up, that version deserves gratitude, not worship. You honor it by growing past it. That old mindset, that old confidence, that old grind, it served its purpose. But if you try to drag it into your next season, it'll become a burden instead of a blessing. Every level of life demands a new version of you. That means new thinking, new habits, new courage. You can't use yesterday's tools to build tomorrow's house. When people start to evolve, there's always that pull to return to what's familiar. It's natural. The old life feels safe because you've already survived it. But safety and growth rarely coexist. Think about it like this. When you were a kid, your favorite pair of shoes felt perfect at the time, but you grew out of them. And if you tried to wear them again now, they'd hurt your feet. The same goes for who you used to be. You've outgrown that season. It might have been good, but it's not big enough for your purpose anymore. Look at anyone who's built something lasting. They all had to outgrow a version of themselves that once worked. When Steve Jobs got fired from the very company he built, that pain forced him to evolve. That season of rejection became the seed for the innovation that changed technology forever. If he'd stayed attached to the old chapter, there would have been no comeback, no legacy. Or take J.K. Rowling. Before she became a name, the world knew she hit rock bottom. She lost everything. That version of her couldn't survive the storm, but a stronger one was born in the process. The lesson is the same. Your past version might have been strong, but your future requires someone even stronger. The most dangerous thing about romanticizing the past is it keeps you repeating cycles instead of creating progress. You might think you're chasing better days, but you're really just avoiding change. You tell yourself, if I could just get back to how I used to be, when in reality, you're supposed to be transforming into something you've never been. Don't chase the old you, evolve into the new one. Sometimes nostalgia comes from fear. Fear that maybe your best days are over. Fear that you won't be able to recreate that magic again. But that's just self-doubt disguised as memory. Every season of life has its purpose, and the fact that you made it through those past ones means you've already proven your resilience. The next level isn't about recreating the old feeling, it's about expanding it. Past was preparation, the future is application. You ever notice how people who cling too tightly to their past end up bitter? They live through stories instead of creating new ones. They talk about what they used to do, who they used to be, what they used to have. That mindset kills momentum. You can't drive forward while your heart's parked in yesterday. The longer you live there, the smaller your world becomes. It's not about disrespecting your history. It's about not letting it hold you hostage. You can honor your journey without making it your identity, because at some point, what once was a success can become a limitation if you don't let it evolve. The best athletes, the most creative minds, the sharpest leaders, they all keep reinventing themselves. They don't live off old wins. They respect the past but keep chasing growth. Let's get real. Growth requires letting go, and letting go isn't easy. Sometimes you have to release friendships that no longer match your energy. Sometimes you have to stop identifying with an old version of success that doesn't fit your current goals. Sometimes you even have to forgive yourself for the mistakes that keep replaying in your mind. The past can't be changed, but it can be redeemed by what you do next. When you stop romanticizing the past, you free up space for new blessings. You start noticing opportunities that were invisible when you were living in nostalgia. You start building confidence not from what you used to be good at, but from what you're learning now. That's when life starts moving again. Your past was never meant to be your prison. It was your preparation ground. The heartbreaks, the losses, the lessons, they were shaping your vision, teaching you how to stand tall, showing you what you're capable of. You're supposed to use that energy to create something new, not to dwell on what's gone. Every day you wake up is proof that your story isn't finished. You're still becoming, you're still building, you're still in motion. So yeah, respect the old you, but don't worship it. The old you fought battles the new you doesn't even have to fight anymore. The old you learned lessons so the new you could apply them. That's the point of evolution. And if you're still here breathing, growing, thinking, then that means your purpose ain't done expanded. There's a saying that goes, don't look back. You're not going that way. And that's real. The past was a chapter, not the entire book. It's meant to be read, understood, appreciated, but then you turn the page. Because the next one, that's where your future starts. The only reason people stay stuck is because they keep reading the same chapter over and over, hoping it'll change. But nothing changes until you move forward. Life rewards those who are willing to evolve, who are bold enough to let go, who trust that what's coming will be greater than what's been. You can't build a new mindset on old memories. You can't step into a new season while carrying yesterday's weight. So stop romanticizing what's behind you and start building what's ahead. The world doesn't need you to be who you used to be. It needs you to become everything you're capable of right now. Because when you finally stop replaying the past and start embracing the present, that's when you realize the best version of you was never in your history. It's in your evolution. Motivation is a spark. It's that flash of energy that makes you feel like you can conquer the world. But sparks fade. They light up the moment. Then they disappear if you don't feed them with something solid. That's where discipline steps in. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after motivation dies out. It's what keeps you moving when your emotions tell you to stop. It's what separates people who dream from people who do. Most people wait to feel ready. They wait for inspiration, for the right vibe, for the perfect timing. But the truth is, if you only move when you feel like it, you'll never get anywhere worth going. The old version of you probably made decisions based on feelings. If it felt exciting, you did it. If it felt hard, you avoided it. That's how most people operate emotionally, not intentionally. But growth doesn't care about your mood. The version of you that's destined for something greater can't afford to depend on motivation. It has to be fueled by discipline. Discipline is doing what's necessary even when it's inconvenient. It's showing up on the days when you don't feel like showing up.